The word neural means something related to neurons. Neurons are the cells of brains. The neurons are different than the other animal cells in our body. So they are, the main thing is that they are all interconnected to each other. So they are known as a neural network. So we will see what a biological neural network is, a very fast introduction, and then we'll go to the neural network. When we talk of the human brain, we could see that the main characteristics of human brain are ability to learn from experience, ability to generalize the knowledge it possesses, and it can perform abstraction. And but in addition to all this, the main disadvantage with human brain is that it makes errors. As we say, to err is human. But then
Excuse me, ma'am.
these capabilities,
Hello, sorry to disturb you,
yes,
ma'am. Sound बहुत ही low है, voice.
ज़्यादा कर सकते हैं बेटा साउंड. Now it's okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So the objective of our our study is to emulate or simulate the human brain. Okay. Now let us see what are all, how a human brain is organized. A human brain consists of over 100 billion neurons, and all these neurons are connected together. So they say that it is almost a 100 trillion connections, and these connections are called synapses. And the neurons are responsible for our thought, emotion, cognition, etc. What do you mean by cognition? Cognition means the learning capability. Learning capability. Okay. I'm not going, this is a picture of a human brain, the neurons interconnected together, and the closely a neuron is like this, a tail-like structure. This is the fundamental building block of the nervous system. See, it has various tails, but these tails are many inputs, one output unit. It performs all computational and communication functions. Like it performs computation and communicate those results to the other neurons. All these neurons are interconnected together. Okay. So when we think about the activity which we use has to do is mainly computations and communications. So here the neural network, the biological neural network, if we can simulate a biological neural network, as we call artificial neural network, it can be a very effective emulation of a human brain. So let us see how we can do it. I'm not going into the details of the biological neural network, even though I have the slides. I'm skipping those slides. When we compare computers with human brain, both operate on electrical signals. Both are a composition of a large number of simple elements, and both perform functions that are computational. These are the similarities. But then there are various differences. See, one of the differences is the time scales of digital computation. Computers are microseconds and nanoseconds, where brain impulses are very slow. It is not that fast. Microseconds or nanoseconds nahi hai. The brain's huge computation rate is achieved by a number of parallel connections. But then in a computer system, that much connections cannot be done. It cannot be done in a computer system. That much 100 trillion connections and 100 billion common computational units ko connect karna is not an easy thing when we talk about a computational system. And another thing, a digital computer is inherently error free, but brain often does a very interesting thing. It does best guesses, approximations from partially incomplete and incorrect inputs. Many a time we may not have the correct input, It may be partially incomplete or even incorrect also. Even then, our brain has a capability to come out with right conclusions. Okay, see, many a time you might have seen that for objective type questions, and we have negative marking. Why do we have negative marking? Because they know that our brain can do tukafai. We can come to right conclusions. We have only 4 options. See, one or the other can be right. So we have ability for a guessing. Best guesses ka ability hai, whereas machines do not have that. Machines, if we give incorrect or incomplete input, you will get only wrong answers. Okay. See, now another comparison is the massive parallelism. So what are we trying to now desirably characterize in a human of a human brain? What we want to bring out in a machine? The massive parallelism. And I told you that the neurons, 100 billion neurons are connected to each other. That cannot be done. But then we can try for that parallelism. Then distributed representation and computation. Each neuron is a computational unit, but all those are distributed separately. All those have separate functions. Similarly, learning capability, generalization ability, adaptivity. Our human brain has that capability. So if we could simulate all these facilities into a machine and a computer, then it will be a very effective thing, a robot हम बना सकते. So when we come to a simple neural network, see, let us think of a simple neuron represented like this. We have various inputs I1, I2, I3 till IN connected to the neuron and one output. I told you the neuron is a many input, one output unit. So here you have many inputs I1, I2, I3, IN and one output S. What does this neuron do? Each of these inputs is associated by a weight. Okay, what do you mean by a weight? Input के लिए एक weight का मतलब क्या है? That we can think of as an importance of that input. Importance of that input. See, if we are sitting here, we heard a sound. We may say, कुछ आवाज आ गया है. No problem. But if that sound itself is a bigger sound, like a bomb fatne ka sound, so naturally we will run from here. So that is that each of the input that along with that we hear some other sound also. कोई रोने का आवाज भी आया, कुछ स्मेल भी आ गया है, कोई धुआं भी आ गया है. So naturally all those inputs have an associated weight. So each of these input is, we consider that it has an associated weight. It can be called as an importance of that input. So W1, W2, W3 are the inputs, are the weights of those inputs. Now what do we compute? The computation is each of these input multiplied by the corresponding weight. I1 is multiplied by W1, I2 is multiplied by W2, I3 with W3, so that all these inputs are multiplied with the corresponding weights and added together. And we get a net value, a computed value. Now this is not the result. What is the result? There is only one result. The result is, what should we do? So here we apply that net value to an activation function. Here we define the activation function as the threshold function. Or in MATLAB, the name is not threshold function. They call it as a hard limit function. A particular limit tak the value is 0, then the value changes to 1. So here I have defined it as, if x is greater than t is that threshold value, s will be equal to 1, else s is equal to 0. So less than t or less than or equal to t, the output is 0. Otherwise, if it is greater than t, then the output is 1. T is that threshold value. T can be 0, t can be any other value. So that such a function, when x is calculated and that x is applied to a threshold function or an activation function, we get an output in 1 and 0. Okay. Now there are various threshold functions or activation functions. One I told you is the threshold function. It can be in MATLAB they call it as hard limit transfer function, or the activation functions are generally named in MATLAB as transfer functions. We will see that. So here a hard limit transfer function is otherwise represented as hard lim, and the value x, and you get the output. S is equal to hard lim s. It is written over here. S is equal to hard lim x. So the depending on the value of x, the value of s will be, what will be s? S equal to 1 if x is greater than 0, s equal to 0 if x is less than or equal to 0. There is another function again dependent or similar to hard lim. We call it a signum function or sign function. There, if x is greater than 0, s is 1. If x is less than or equal to 0, s is minus 1. So we give we assign a sign, plus sign or a minus sign to the value, or plus 1 or minus 1. So the command is hard lims s, इधर s रखा हुआ है because of that sign. Hard lim के साथ s लिखा हुआ है for that sign. Okay. There are other activation functions also. It is not that if x is greater than t it is 1 or x is less than t it is 1. It can be a continuous change from 0 to 1. Okay, it can be a gradual change. It can have values between 0 and 1. So for that, it represents this mathematical function s is equal to 1 by 1 plus e raised to minus ax. X is our net calculated value. A is a constant. I'll explain what A is. And 1 by 1 plus e raised to minus ax. Now when we do this, depending on the value of x, see if x is equal to 0, e raised to minus x will be 1. So the whole s will be half. 1 by 1 plus 1 will become 0.5. If x is greater than 0, then if we calculate it, e raised to minus x will become 0 and it will become 1 by 1. If x is less than 0, that means x itself will become minus. So minus x के साथ वो positive बन जाएगा. So that becomes infinity. So 1 by infinity it becomes 0. Okay. Now depending on the value of x, if we require the activation function in such a way that we need a gradual change. See the blue graph over here, which changes like this, gradual change. That means we should have a smaller value of x. So what we do, we multiply a with 1 by 3 or lower values so that x becomes lower value. If we give higher value, then we will have a sharper curve. So we have a is equal to 2 or 3 so that this transition becomes sharp. So then it becomes a threshold function. Okay, transition sharp means it becomes a threshold function. Otherwise you can have gradually changing values from 0 to 1 also. This is a hyperbolic tangent function. Same type of activation function as before. We have seen this function. We call it as a logistic function or a sigmoidal function. The MATLAB command is log sigmoid, log sig. But for hyperbolic tangent, here what is the difference between log sigmoidal and hyperbolic tangent? Here the transition is from minus 1 to 1. This is equivalent to a signum function. But we can represent it by tan hx, tan hyperbolic tangent x. So x is equal to 0 means s is 0, greater than 0 means 1, less than 0 means minus 1. The MATLAB command is tan sigmoidal, tan sig x. The other one was log sig. This is now tan sig. I'll give you enough MATLAB functions like this in between. This is again another transfer function which MATLAB use. We call it as a linear transfer function. It changes linearly. Okay, so we call it as a linear function, and the command is purelin, P-U-R-E-L-I-N-X. Another variation of this linear transfer function is the positive linear function. It has values from 0 only to the positive side. Negative side may it is always 0. Okay, and that this is known as a positive linear transfer function.
Hello.
Or POSLIN. Hello.
Hello. Ma'am,
Ji?
ma'am, slide is cutting from both the sides. Please reduce the size little bit. Figure is not coming clear.
वो reduce करो.
दोनों साइड से कट रहा है.
हाँ. वो साइड का if you can change it. Okay, I'll try. वो मैग्नीफायर लगाने से फिर मेरे को मैग्नीफायर है लगा हुआ है. Now can you see it? I think now you can see.
Hello? Ma'am,
Now
upper part.
can you see?
No, upper part of the waveform is cutting now.
Oh, that I'm moving now that you can see that.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. Okay. I will move it and show it to you. Okay, like this.
Right.
इसको close कर सकते हो बेटा. Okay. Now coming to. Now purelin, POSLIN भी मैंने बता दिया. Now it is the saturating linear transfer function. We call it as a saturating linear. The figure is like this. Here the क्या बेटा नो कर दो. Okay, here we have a saturation at the value of 1. The linearity is from 0 to 1 only. The linearity is from 0 to 1 only. Whereas in symmetric saturating linear function, the saturation is, the lower saturation is at -1, and the higher saturation, the positive saturation is at 1. Okay. This is another very common transfer function which we use in MATLAB. We call it as radial basis functions. वो magnifier चल नहीं रहा बेटा. Radial basis function. Radial basis function is similar to our Gaussian graph. See, it is similar to our Gaussian graph or normal distribution. See, normal distribution is a very commonly used function and very commonly used in neural networks also. But MATLAB does not call it as normal function or Gaussian function. it calls it as a radial basis function. So the MATLAB command is RADBAS, radial basis ka rad bas karne se we will get this value. Similarly, if this, instead of this radial basis, if this is a triangular type of a shape, then we call it as a triangular basis function or tribas. Triangular basis function or tribas. So this is another transfer function. So I have told you 4 or 5 transfer functions. One is the hard limbs, okay, then log sigmoid, tan sigmoid, then pure lin, post lin, saturating linear, okay, symmetric saturating, and then radial basis and triangular basis transfer functions. So depending on the various applications we can go for, and depending on the various network we can go for various transfer functions. So when you open MATLAB you will see all this. So when you see, you will be able to understand where you are going to apply. Now when you come to the basic model which I have shown you, okay, I'll show you the basic model again. This is a basic model of a simple neural network which I had shown you. This is known as, this has been defined by 2 great scientists. They are known as Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts in 1943. So this model is known as a McCulloch-Pitts neuron model. See, McCulloch-Pitts, McCulloch and Pitts neuron model, because this has been defined by Warren McCulloch and Walter Pitts in 1943. They allowed binary states only for this. See, the inputs also will be binary and the output also will be binary. Okay, so they said that it should be always with binary inputs and outputs, and the input neurons are connected by direct weighted path. So these weighted paths are known as excitatory or inhibitory. What do you mean by excitatory? That you do some work, excited or do some work. Inhibitory means even if some input has come, but you don't do anything, you have inhibited on it, you did not do anything. So depending on, so 0 and 1, you do something 1 or you don't do anything, inhibitory 0. So mainly the outputs are excitatory or inhibitory, and every time it is connected by a weight, direct weight also by that. Neuron is associated with a threshold value. Every time a threshold transfer function only will be applied to this McCulloch-Pitts neuron. Then many a time it has been found out that this one neuron model was not enough to satisfy the various applications. So it has been found out that it is required that there are number of neuron models, and number of neurons has to be connected together. So one neuron with some inputs and outputs was not giving the results. So it has been by research it has been found that number of neurons has to be connected together. So here this is a single layer neural network where you have number of neurons in a layer, one layer itself. So now what is happening? It was like to one neuron you are connecting all the n inputs. Now you have 4 or 5 or m neurons to which all these n inputs are connected. Now what is the advantage? You have different number of weights. Therefore I1 there was only one weight, W1. Now it is not like that. For I1 you have a vector of weights, W11, W12, W13, W14. The I1 is connected to 4 neurons. Similarly, input I2 is connected to again 4 neurons. So you have a matrix of weights here. So that is again a more advantageous illustration. So this is a single layer neural network where you have various neurons in one layer where all the inputs are connected to these neurons and the output is obtained. This F, what it is shown, is the activation function applied, and A is the output. And when research has come up, it found out that many a time the single layer neural network also is not giving the results. So they have found out that multi-layer artificial neural networks are important. In multi-layer artificial neural networks, we have an input layer where all the inputs are connected to the neurons, and there are other layers in between which are known as hidden layers and output layers. So in this, for the system, you have 5 inputs and 2 outputs, means you will have 5 neurons in the input layer and 2 neurons in the output layer, and you can have any number of hidden layers and hidden neurons in the hidden layers also. I'll show you this picture by reducing the magnifier. Now I think you will be able to see the whole picture over here. Okay, so this is the input layer, or we call it as the layer 1, and this is the output layer, hidden layer or middle layer, and this is the output layer. If you have 2 or more hidden layers, that can also be done, and then at the end you will have the output layer. Okay. In addition to this, see, I told you, we are inculcating the learning capability onto networks. So when a neural network has to learn something, we have to provide training to it. So then there are various types of trainings. The very common training which we do is the supervised training. See, very common training which we do is the supervised training. For supervised training, we have a target vector, and the desired output should be same as the target output. Desired output should be same as the target output. But for unsupervised training, we don't have any, no target vector is there. Every time the network organizes itself, we call it as a self-organizing network. Self-organizing network. It changes in such a way that it is improved better than the previous one. Last time iteration में जो error आया, उससे कम error इस बारी iteration में. And in that way, we reduce the iteration every time. Okay, and we go to such a way that the error is minimized. In supervised training, the error is almost made 0, because we are finding out the desired output and the target output, the desired output and the calculated outputs are same, equal. But here there is no target output. So every time we have a comparison with the previous values, so that the error is reduced. Okay. Now there is another training, we call it as a reinforcement training also. Okay, I'll go to that later. See here, this is a figure for the classification of various learning algorithms. We have the supervised learning algorithm and the unsupervised learning algorithm. And in the supervised learning algorithm, we have the gradient descent, least mean square, stochastic, Hebbian, competitive. So enough research has gone into this, and we have various types of learning algorithms and training procedures. Okay, so when you open neural network toolbox, you will find lots of training and functions and learning functions. You may think that means I am not getting what is it that they are doing here. Many a time you may not understand it also, but some of them I will explain in this class so that you will not feel so alien with the neural network toolbox. See, very common learning rule is what we call as the Hebbian learning rule. I'll explain that. Or the network we call as a perceptron network. See here, a perceptron computes the sum of its weighted inputs and passes the result to a hard limit threshold function. This is the same as the McCulloch bits which we have explained. It can be in McCulloch bits, it was not number of neurons, single layer nahi ho sakta tha. For perceptron mein you have number of neurons. You can increase the number of neurons in the model also. If you have more number of inputs, you can have more number of neurons in the perceptron. Okay, but perceptron ki training procedure, this I wanted you to see and understand also. See here, the algorithm is weights are adjusted to minimize error whenever the computed output does not match the target output. So how will we compute the computed output? By sigma xi wij. Okay, sigma xi wij. And we apply a activation function to get the output. So this is the calculated output y. What is that application? Y is equal to 1 if net is greater than 0, or otherwise if net is less than or equal to 0, y is 0. Okay, so this is the activation function, hard limit transfer function we are applying. So to a perceptron, we apply a hard limit transfer function. Okay, and the weights are adjusted depending on whether y is equal to target t or not. If now, how are we going to adjust the weight? Weight adjustment is, if the output is 1 but should have been 0. Okay, the calculated output we got 1 but it should have been 0, target was 0. So y is equal to 1 and t is equal to 0. Then the weights are changed like wij, k plus 1 is equal to wik minus alpha xi. What is w? Weights. What is this k and k plus 1? Iteration. So if kth iteration के जो weight है उसके साथ minus alpha xi, alpha is the learning rate, some value by which we accelerate the learning procedure. What is xi? Input. So alpha multiplied by xi, that value को previous weight से minus करने से we will get the new weight. What is the condition? If the output is 1 but should have been 0. Otherwise, if it is otherwise, if the output is 0, should have been 1, y is equal to 0 and target is 1, then what we do? Plus alpha xi. Okay, there are two conditions. If the output we got y is equal to 1 and the target is 0, t is equal to 0, then wk plus 1 is equal to wk minus alpha xi. Otherwise, If the output is 0 and target is 1, then we Wk plus 1 is equal to Wk plus alpha x. Now to understand, this is actually the training procedure. To understand the training procedure, I have taken a small example. See, training of an AND gate. See, in an AND gate, we have 2 inputs and 1 output. So we are going to train a network or a simple perceptron for working as an AND gate. So what will we do? We have a small neural network, one single neuron we are taking. We are not taking a neural network. We are taking a single neuron for you to understand. And we give 2 inputs to that single neuron and 1 output. Okay. The 2 inputs are x1 and x2. And the output is y. No, not target, y. Output is y. Okay. Now what will we do? We give the input multiplied by the weight and we should get a y. And then we will check whether y is equal to t. Okay, that is what we are going to do. That is the training procedure. Now to start with, we do not know what the weight is. So usually we take random weights. Even MATLAB also take random weights. Okay. So here we are taking weights W1 as 0.3 and W2 as 0.2. Okay. So for the first case is x1 is 0, x2 is 0. So what is net? 0. So net is 0 means what is the condition here? Y is net is 0 means y is 0. See this, y is 1 if net is greater than 0. Y is 0 if net is less than or equal to 0. This is the condition. So y is 0 because net is 0. Now what is the target for the first value? 0. So here y is equal to 0 and target is also equal to 0. Very good, same value, no weight change. You don't have to change the weights. Now coming to the second inputs, x1 equal to 0 and x2 equal to 1. So now how will you find out net? 0 into 0.3 plus 1 into 0.2 is equal to 0.2. So now what is the net? Net kitna hai? 0.2. Are you following me? Net is 0.2. So when net is 0.2, what will be y? 1, because net is greater than 0. What is target? 0. See here, target is 0. So now here, the target is 0, but y is calculated as, it is not same. So now what we have to do? We have to change the weights. Now what is the condition here? If the output is 1, but should have been 0. Y is equal to 1, t is equal to 0. So now wk plus 1 is equal to wk minus alpha xi. Okay. So here, how will we do it? We have w12 means 1 and 2, dono weights. Second iteration is equal to w121 minus alpha x12. So it is w12 is equal to w11 minus alpha x1. w22 is equal to w21 minus alpha x2. Okay. w1 will be calculated from x1 and w2 will be calculated from x2. Okay, so I have put those values. Dekho, w12 is equal to w11 was 0.3. Okay, minus 0.6 into 0. So we get it as 0.3 only. And W2 will be 0.2 minus 0.6 into 1. X2 का value है ना? 1. ये X2 का ये 1 value है. So we will get this as minus 0.4. So now what are the new weights now? 0.3 and minus 0.4. नीचे कर दो. Okay. So नीचे वाला तब भी नहीं आ रहा. Okay, so now we have new weights as 0.3 and minus 0.4. एसी नहीं चल रहा है क्या? तुमने ऑफ किया था? So now learning rate we have taken as 0.6. You can have any learning rate between 0 and 1. 0.6 or 0.4 or 0.8 or 0.9. So I have taken here learning rate as 0.6. Okay. Now the third case. Third case may see here, I have this target here 1 and 0. This is the third value now. X1 is 1, X2 is 0 and T is 0. Okay. So for the third again we do the same procedure. 1 into 0.3 plus 0 into minus 0.4. जो previous iteration में जो weight मिला है that you will multiply here. So 0 into minus 0.4 you will get as 0.3 only. Again y is 1, t is 0. We do the same exercise again. So we get the new weights as minus 0.3 and minus 0.4. Now here, when you go for the fourth value, it is net is 1 into minus 0.3 plus 1 into minus 0.4, you will get it as minus 0.7. And in this case, you get y is equal to 0 and t is equal to 1. Ulta aa jata hai. And the other condition, wik plus 1 is equal to wik plus alpha xi. And incidentally, when we do this, we find out that it comes out to be the starting weights which we have taken. See? Now, we started with the weights 0.3 and 0.2. And again, we got the same weights 0.3 and 0.2. That means the system is not converging. You are not getting any result. Aapka network is not getting trained. So in such a that is known as a non-convergence. Non-convergence. It can happen. If you make, because we have taken a random weight. I took a weight, you took another weight, another person took another weight. For that person, it must have converged. For me, it did not converge. So because we are taking random weights, it may not converge. So that is a big disadvantage of neural network. It can result into non-convergence. Okay. So for that, there is an option. We can add a bias to the system. See, I'll show you. See here. With x1 w1, x2 w2, xn wn, there is one more addition to the perceptron. ये मैंने पहले आपको बताया नहीं. I thought I'll tell at that time. This is known as a bias. Bias is some constant value added to the net. Net value is x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus x3 w3 plus b. I'll show you that how net is applied, how bias is applied. Net is equal to sigma xi wi plus b. Some constant value applied to b. Okay. What is actually bias means? Bias is a DC offset. Some sort of increasing the level. Some sort of increasing the level. Let us see what happens when we put a bias of minus 1 here. See, start with the new iteration. starting from the weight 0.3 and 0.2 and a bias of -1, you will find that almost all the first three values you are getting the same. Y equal to 0, t equal to 0, no weight change. For all the first three sets, when you do the calculation like I have explained you in the previous stage, you will get y equal to 0, t equal to 0. Only for the fourth level, we have a change. Because we are getting a -0.5 here, we are getting y equal to 0, whereas target should be 1. And we do the output change similarly, and we get a new set of weights. The new set of weights are calculated like this. Okay, so like previously, and we get another set of weights. We have it as 0.9 and 0.8. Now again, when we do the iteration, we will find that all those y values are same as the target values. This is where the iteration stops. So the training is done till you get a particular set of weights for which the y value and t values are same for all your input sets. So we have 4 input set in an AND gate, and for the final set of weight, we have the final weight as 0.9 and 0.8. For 0.9 and 0.8, we will find that all these y equal to 0, y and t values are same. Okay, that is where the iteration stops. See, for a simple AND example, we have to do 3 iterations. See, if you take another set of random weights or another alpha value, the iteration may change. 5 or 7 iterations you may have to do. There the role of MATLAB comes. See, with hand calculation, to find out the iteration again and again is a tedious process. So MATLAB can help you in doing this iterative training process and get you the results. Okay, so MATLAB, you don't have to do all this. This I have explained for you to understand what a training process is. Okay, otherwise I would have explained it on the board. In this room board nahi hai, isliye I have explained, I have written all this in the PPT. So the final weights we have got by having the same weights for which all the y and t are equal. Now for perceptron, there is a disadvantage. Perceptron is actually used, perceptron networks are actually used for classification problems. We have to classify it into 2 groups. That is also there. Perceptron networks are commonly used when we have to classify some inputs into 2 groups. You can have McCulloch-Pitts mein humne dekha tha, the inputs are always in binary. In AND also we have taken the inputs binary 0 and 1, and output also as binary. But perceptron does not require that input should be binary. Input can be real valued. Input can be real valued, but the output should be binary. Binary or bipolar, 1 minus 1 भी हो सकता है. But output should always be two categories. So we can classify the iteration inputs into 2 groups. But they say that it should be linearly separable. What is linearly separable? See, you have some vectors or points to be classified. Here on the graph you see there are some are plus signs and some are 0 signs. All the plus and zeros should be separated by a line. That is what is known as a linearly separable property. Okay, now let us see what is the definition. See, when we calculate, see हमारा calculation का equation क्या है? Xi wi plus b, x1 w1 plus x2 w2 plus b. This is like y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. So it will make a straight line. It will make a straight line. So equation denoting this decision boundary can represent a line or a plane. So on training, the +1 and the -1 will come into two groups, should come into two groups. Then only you will be able to classify. So then you may ask me, ma'am, I say we have जो linearly separable नहीं है. I'll give you an example. See, the AND gate and inputs which we were doing here. See, if we plot that in a coordinate like this, XY coordinate. See, we have the inputs as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. So if we plot it in such a way, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 1, 0 has the output 0. And 1, 1 has an output 1. So all the 0 zeros will comes under the lower side and ones come under the upper side. So we can draw a line and separate these zeros and ones. Okay. Now take XOR. XOR में क्या होता है? 0, 0 is 0, 1, 1 is also 0. 0, 1 is 1 and 1, 0 is 1. Now you think for a minute, can you draw a line and separate it into two groups? So XOR is a linearly not separable problem. You will do this in MATLAB and see that you will not be able to classify or solve XOR in MATLAB. You will see that. Okay. See, then there are formations or modifications of perceptron. They call it as Adeline network. The output values are bipolar, and the weight adjustment में alpha xi की जगह alpha t minus y xi आ जाता है. Okay. Then for the linearly separable problem, they have a solution with multiple Adeline networks, Madeline networks, by which you can have a combination of various Adeline and solve linearly non-separable problems also. These are other modifications. See, when we go to MATLAB you have to use various learning functions. So these are some of the perceptron learning functions. When you use learning functions, there is a learn P and learn Pn. Okay, so that I have explained here. I'll come to that when I explain neural network 2. Okay. Now, let me come to MATLAB. Okay. At the prompt, see here, at the prompt, when you type NNTOOL, at the prompt, when you type NN tool, neural network tool, and press enter, a GUI props up like this. देखो, a GUI comes up. We call it as network data manager. This is known as network data manager. We input data and network into this network data manager and train them and get the output. That is what I am going to do it now. Okay. The AND network which we have done now I will do it in the neural network tool and I will show you how you can do it. Okay. See here, as you come down, there is an option called, see here, there is an option new. देखा? This new. When I click on this new, another window opens. When I click on this new, another window opens. This window is known as a create network core data. The other one was network data manager. This is create network core data. Okay. I am going to create data. So ये data का इस ये data में select करती हूँ. I'll select this data. Okay. Now I have selected the data. The name of the data I have taken as data 1. And first data is the input data which I want to put. See, I told you MATLAB is matrices, matrix laboratory. So I will now input the data of the input data of the AND network also in a matrix form here. Okay. So what do we have? 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So we have two vectors, two columns here. So I will write these columns now here like this. Some values are here. See, I'm going to write 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay. One vector was 0, 0, 1, 1. The other vector will be 0, 1, 0, 1. So that we get it as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay, two columns, two vectors. So I have input these values within square brackets. Now move here, this side, the data types are given. So this is an input data. So that input is now clicked. This data 1 is an input data. So I click on that input data. Now come down of this network, the new network, and click on create. Okay, click on create. It gives another window, new input called data 1 added to network data manager. I click on OK. Okay, now see here that the other window which I had, now input data में एक data 1 आ गया. See, input data में data 1 आ गया. See, can you see that? Now I want to create another data. That is my target data. Input data भी चाहिए मेरे को, target data भी चाहिए. What is my target data? 0, 0, 0, 1. One value. So I am going to again on this create network data window में data के अंदर data 2 आया हुआ है. Data 2 में now I am changing this to 0, 1 single. On single vector 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Bring this to here. Click on target because this is the target data. Click on target and create. नीचे आके create में click करो. Then ये window पे OK click करो. Come here. You will see that target data में data 2 आ गया. देखा? अभी इनपुट डाटा में डाटा 1 है, टारगेट डाटा में डाटा 2 है. हमने ये दोनों डाटा अभी क्रिएट किया. ओके, हमें दो ही डाटा चाहिए. एंड हम एंड करने मींस नेटवर्क बनाने जा रहे हैं. नाउ वी विल क्लिक ये क्रिएट नेटवर्क और डाटा में आके नेटवर्क में क्लिक करेंगे. ओके, नेटवर्क में क्लिक करने से it will be able to, you will be able to create a network now. Okay, name of the network. Okay, network 1 दे दो या and network दे दो, जो भी आप देना चाहते हो you can give. I am going to give this as and network. Okay, Now come to the network type. Okay. Now here, network type में there are options. अभी हमें इधर लिख के आ रहे हैं फीड फॉरवर्ड बैक प्रोपगेशन. ये एरो में हम क्लिक करने से you will have lots of options of various types of networks. Okay, I am clicking on perceptron. I clicked on perceptron. Okay, now it gives you option to select the input data, select the target data. So what I'll do, input data में select an input में click करते, data 1 select किया, select a target में data 2 select किया. Okay, and it gives you option of the transfer function and the learning function. Transfer function तो hard limb है, learning function learn भी है. There are other options also. Hard limbs भी है. Hard limbs is signum. Signum function -1 or 1. Tan नहीं है, -1 or 1. I am taking it as 0 and 1 only. Learn P भी है, learn P and B है. I'll explain. वो मैंने explain नहीं किया. I thought I will explain this and then tell you. These are the perceptron learning functions. Perceptron के लिए ये दो ही learning function है, learn P and learn PN, and transfer function भी hard limb and hard limbs है. मैंने आपको बोला है perceptron में हम threshold activation function ही apply करते हैं. Adeline में भी, and in perceptron, McCulloch-Pitts, all these networks, classifying networks, we use the hard limb transfer function only. Okay, and create. Okay, create के पहले आपको, if you want to see what you have made, you can click on view. View में आप click करोगे, it will show you the network. See, it will show you the network. This is the input value which you have given and ka. This is the weight functions, weight values. This is the bias value. So the input multiplied by the weight added B applied to this hard limb transfer function, you will get the output. Okay, so this is the network which we have made now, and I'm going to create it. So the new network called AND network 1 is created. Okay, now I'm going to close this network. This also I'm going to view also close. Now हमारा वो जो पुराना network manager जो मैंने बनाया था, आया था, उसी में आ जाओ. Now this is that network data manager that create network and data, and the view windows I have closed. In the network data manager now we have data 1 as the input data, data 2 as the target data, and network 1 as the network. And network 1 as the network. Okay. Now when I click on this AND network, when I click on this AND network, another window opens. It is known as the network as the AND network 1. This window, it is network is the AND network 1. We have a view in which we can see the network. Next is the train, simulate, adapt, reinitialize weights, view, edit weights, various options which you can do on this network. So okay, we want to train the network. So we'll go on to train. Train में there are various input patterns you have to give. The input, as you know, we have to give data 1. Target we have to give data 2. and the output we will get in AND network 1 output and errors, and come down and click on train network. Click on this train network. So another window opens up, neural network training, and it shows that in 5 iterations it has trained and the error is 0. Okay, and it has stopped training because 5 iteration here. Okay, now you can close this. Okay, now I want to see whether my network is working properly. See, I have trained a network means I should get it as it should work as an AND. For any other data I give, it should work as an AND. So let us see how we can do that. Okay, मैं ये पीछे जो network data manager है, I'm going to click on that. Okay, and I'm going to create another data. Okay, I'm going to create new, जैसे हमने पहले किया है, new में गया, data में गया. I'm going to make another set of data as data 3. Okay, see here, see here, I'm giving a new input data where I'm giving 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1 and 1, 1. इसका AND output मुझे चाहिए. Okay, I define this as input and create. Okay. So what I have done, I have made a new input data 3. Okay, more also I can put, I can make it data, and I am now closing it. So now here there is another data input. Okay, another input data 3. Now let us see whether the trained network will give me an output. Let me come to this AND network again. Let me go to simulate and put data 3 as the input. I don't have any target now. And the output will be in AND network 1 outputs. I'll go to simulate. Simulate किया है. Come back to network manager. Come to this output. This said this is output data. उस साइड में input data था ना. ये output data में if you click, see, is this the same value? आपने नोट किया था? Let us see. डाटा 3 इधर है. See, डाटा इसका AND क्या होगा? 1, 1, 0, 1. Okay. Okay, now let us see, this is the same. That means once you train the network as an AND network, it will then behave as an AND. It will then behave as an AND. Okay. Now if you want to see what are the weights, जो weights आपने कोई weights नहीं दिया ना, so we can see the weights. This is the weight 2 and 1, final weights. This is the bias -3. Randomly कुछ values लिया, change किया 5 iteration में. These are the values you get. If you want to keep your own weights, आपको weights initialize करना है, So then you can change the weights here. Input ranges, revert, initialize weights में जाके you can change your weights. अभी तो because it is already done, it will not allow you to initialize weights now. First you have to start from the first, then you will be able to start with your initial weights and see what values. अभी तो it has taken some random weights and given you the result. Okay, that can also be done. Any questions? To the senders, any questions? Should I repeat? Could you follow me? What I have explained the neural network toolbox?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Clear?
Yeah.
Any other sender? You are from which sender?
We are from GTB-IT New Delhi.
Okay, okay, okay. Any other sender? Okay. Now I will explain. Coming back to another network. This is a very basic network which I have explained to you regarding perceptron network. There are other networks also available. You read any paper, you will find that there are various other networks also available. A very common network which you find in any engineering papers are the back propagation network, or they are known as the error back propagation network, EBP network also. In some literature, it is known as multi-layer feed-forward network also, MLFFNB इसको लोग बोलते हैं. So, whereas perceptron networks are not multi-layer networks. Perceptron networks में number of neurons बढ़ा जाता है, single layer networks बनाता है, but usually for multi-layer feed-forward networks में we use this back propagation algorithm. See here. It is developed by Rumelhart, Hinton, and Williams. It is the learning rule is back propagation. It doesn't mean that it is a feedback system. It is a feed forward system, but the learning rule is known as a back propagation learning rule or error back propagation. EBP भी लोग इसको बोलते हैं. Back propagation is a systematic method of training built on high mathematical foundation and has very good application potential. The disadvantage is low rate of convergence and local minima problem. See, to define a multi-layer feed-forward network, a very simple multi-layer network I have taken, which has one input layer, one hidden layer, and one output layer. Whereas I was explaining multi-layer networks, I told you the output of the input layer will be fed as the input to the hidden layer. The output of the hidden layer will be fed as the input to the output layer. And the output of the output layer will be the outputs. Okay, so the OI1, see in the picture, I1, I2 and I3 are the inputs. OI1, OI2, OI3 are the outputs of the input layer. When multiplied to the weight matrix V, V11, V12, V21, V22, you get the input IH1. And IH1, when applied to the hidden layer, we get the OH1. That OH1 is now fed to the output layer multiplied by the weight matrix W here, and we get the output IO1. That is again given as the input to the output layer. Okay, hope you have understood how it is going. Now, when we go for the computation of this algorithm, there is a step-by-step computation. First is the input layer computation, where we take OI is equal to II. And IH is equal to the weight matrix multiplied by the output of the input layer, OI. OI multiplied by V, weight matrix, will give you IH. And when we apply the log sigmoidal transfer function to log sigmoidal transfer function, we get OH. Where is OH? OH is here. So the transfer functions are applied, or activation functions are applied on the neurons. IH1 पे log sigmoidal transfer function apply करके हमें OH1 मिल गया. वो OH1 पे W weight matrix multiply करके we get IO. Okay. Now this IO is now applied by another log sigmoidal transfer function on the output layer, and we get the OO. OO are the calculated outputs, और previously हम perceptron में हम उसको net बोल देते. Now each of these OO, there is a corresponding target. So a target minus OO, TO minus OO. So we are taking a Euclidean norm of it. What is a Euclidean norm? Minus करके जो value मिला उसको square करके sigma and average. Each of the error TO minus OO is squared and added sigma and then divided by that much. So we call it as a mean square error. This error we do as a mean square error. So in perceptron we don't do all these things. Perceptron mein we get an error. That error is now multiplied by alpha xi, and then we add with the weights and get it. Error we obtain is now partially differentiated, and these values will give you the error or small change in the value which we have to add on to del V. So we are now calculating how del E and del W and del E and del V. See, we are calculating del E by del W, this last equation, minus lambda T minus OO. I'm not going into the details of this because in MATLAB you don't require all this. This slide I may explain for my master's student in detail. For you, you may not require all these details. If you are interested, I can explain it to you. But for the small course for 1 hour, I have to explain, no need of it. I only have to show what is gradient descent, what is delta W. That's all I have to explain. So this procedure where I find a partial differentiation and utilizing that partial differentiation value as an addition to the weight matrix. See here, I found del E by del W, and that del E by del W is calculated as a delta W, which is then added to the weight matrix W, and we get the WI plus 1. So WI plus 1 is equal to W plus डेल्टा, ये जो नीचे वाला इक्वेशन देखो, डेल्टा डब्ल्यू, डब्ल्यू आई प्लस डेल्टा डब्ल्यू. डेल्टा डब्ल्यू कैसे मिला? ईटा मल्टीप्लाइड बाय डेल ई बाय डेल डब्ल्यू. Okay, so this del E by del W is a partial differentiation or a differentiation. That is why this method is known as a gradient descent method. What is descent? Descending order means आप नीचे को चढ़ रहे हो, नीचे को उतर रहे हो. Okay, so Gradient means you do it in a differentiating form. Gradient we use when we use a differentiation. So here the gradient descent. So every time descent means you are reducing the error. That is what is shown here. A B जो first iteration में A B ज़्यादा होगा, every time A B will be reduced, so that ये जो minimum point is the actual error there, where there is no error. That is the point where you require, where the error is minimized. So every time the error is reducing. That is why the name gradient descent. So this is the theory of gradient descent learning rule or back propagation learning rule. So error back propagation uses gradient descent learning rule. So in MATLAB, we have two types of training functions and learning functions when it comes to error back propagation. We have train GD and learn GD also. Okay, that is what I am coming to. So MATLAB has different variants of this gradient descent learning rule. One is train GD, another is the train GDM, train GDA, and train GDX. Little bit differences. Train GD में it does not do anything. Learning rate के साथ जो value जो मैंने performance का derivative d by dx performance देखो P RF एक value दिया हुआ है, calculate derivatives of performance, that is this d P RF by dx दिया हुआ है. d P RF by dx is the derivative of the performance index, multiplied by the learning rate you get a dx. This is then used for calculating the DW, that is train GD. But when it comes to train GDM, then we have another coefficient called momentum coefficient. That is the new जो हमने पीछे लिखा था, ये this is that new जो इधर लिखा हुआ है, that is the momentum coefficient. वो मूव करने जो इधर जो AB की मूवमेंट की मोमेंटम, so that value when you add, we call it as a train GDM. So we have, in addition to the learning rate, we have more values of momentum coefficient also, which we multiply to the derivative of the performance dPERF by dx. So we have a momentum coefficient also added on to the calculation when we have train GDM. In train GDA, it is an adaptive learning rate. इधर momentum coefficient नहीं है. Adaptive कैसे करते हैं? Performance decrease कर रहा है, so learning rate increase करेगा. Performance increase कर रहा है, तो learning rate decrease करेगा. Automatically it will see what performance it is doing. Oh, if I use train GDA, it automatically do these calculations and then again use this equation, जो train GD वाला equation है उसी में ही ये again and again it will do. Okay, in GDX momentum भी use करेगा, adaptive learning rate back propagation भी use करेगा. The equation is the momentum वाला, पर वो learning rate को performance के साथ increment और decrement करता रहेगा. That is the adaptivity here. So these are the 4 gradient descent training functions which MATLAB uses. In addition to the training functions, there are some learning functions also we use in gradient descent. They are known as the learn GD and learn GDM. What is the difference between the training function and gradient function? Learning function. In learning function, there we have the dx. Using that GW value, we calculate the actual DW which has to be added to the weight matrix. In train GD and train GDM or anything, we are not calculating the DW. LearnGD and LearnGDM actually calculates the DW value which should be added to or subtracted to the W or the weight matrix. So we use both of these for the feed forward back propagation when we use that. So let us go for an example. I am stopping it here. Again, I am going to MATLAB. Again, NN tool. Okay. So here, if we use that AND network or whatever networks, new data I am not generating now. See here, if we use a feed forward, now I think the sentence can see it, feed forward back propagation. You see, we have lots of training functions. Train LM, train GDA, train GDM, train GDX. So if we have to use that gradient descent, जो मैंने अभी explain किया है, then we'll go for this train GDM or GDA or GDX. Okay, there are other training functions also. Similarly, you have training functions and adaptation learning functions also. So we have to explain what learning function also you have to give, specify the learning function also. Now, mean square error. Okay, we were using t minus O the whole square sigma divided by, so we use the sigma. And now here we can define the number of layers. We have multi-layer feed forward, number of layers, and the neurons in the layers also, and the transfer function at the layers also. See here, I am giving the number of layers as 2 here. So what happens, it will show 2 layers here. And in the first layer, I can give 4 neurons with the transfer function tan sig or log sig. And for the outer layer, maybe because I have not defined the data, that is why it is not showing. Depending on the data, output and input. So output, though he output hai, so it will automatically show 2 neurons in the output layer, and you can specify tan sig or log sig. Okay, so to explain, I have only explained you 2 networks with this time, perceptron and feed forward back propagation. Actually, it's a whole means course for a master's degree or a thing. So it will not be possible for me to explain to you all that in one single lecture in 2 hours. But then I tried to explain these 2 networks and how you can implement that in neural network toolbox. So neural network toolbox, if you open, you have options. It is not that you can use only perceptron and feed forward back propagation. There are various other networks also here. So if you are doing your thesis or reading some papers where you have found out different networks which you can apply here, and you have the data and you have the transfer functions and training functions. Even if you do not know which training function you have to use, the advantage of MATLAB is you try. You try with this training function also, try with another training function also, put more hidden layers into it, try with different number of neurons in the hidden layers, okay, different types of transfer functions in the hidden layers. So all those facilities are available in MATLAB. The advantage is that you don't have to write a big program here. You don't have to do lots of calculations here. Everything is available for you. The only thing is that you should know what you have to do. You should understand what training function is, what learning is, what are the different types of networks here. So a basic knowledge of neural network and the neural network toolbox will be helpful for you to use neural network toolbox or the application, or you can apply the neural networks by using the MATLAB neural network toolbox. Okay, so what we can do is, I have a tutorial sheet of neural network toolbox. I have not given you. I will send that tutorial sheet also to you. I want all of you to do practice. The programming exercises which I have sent to you yesterday, that you do. And the neural network toolbox also I will give you, send you now to all the senders and to all of you also. That also you have to practice. Unless you attend my lectures is okay, but the practice also has to be done. The tutorial sheet I will send now. Okay.
Hello.
Any questions you have regarding the lecture which I have taken yesterday and you practiced?
Hello.
Hello, yes. Which sender you are from?
Ma'am, I am from Guru Tegh Bahadur Institute of Technology,
Okay.
New Delhi.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a plot for a notch filter.
Yes.
From that plot, can I obtain the transfer function back using MATLAB? Means reverse way. Normally we used to do from the transfer function, we used to do the plots. But
Plots.
I
Okay.
require other way. I have a plot. From that plot, I require the transfer function for that. Is it possible?
For that neural network toolbox, you will not be able to apply. You have to see some other mathematical application function by which you can find out the transfer function. MATLAB में. I don't know. Neural network toolbox से नहीं हो सकता है. पीछे को नहीं हो सकता है. You may have to use some network fitting, curve fitting values, or some regression analysis by which you have to find out the transfer function.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, few suggestions related to the improvement of this seminar.
Yes. Bolo.
First is, ma'am, in the PPTs as well as MATLAB program, text is not very much clear. Blunt images is appearing at our end. Both PPT,
zooming already is,
when you do zooming, then we are able to see only a certain part. Remaining contents are not visible, so we are unable to correlate.
Okay.
Second problem is
Yes.
lower part of the screen is covered with the other center windows. That is why most of the contents are suppressed, not visible.
Yes.
Third important point is, please use pointer if possible, so that which line you are reading is clear to us. If you will use a pointer, then we will be able to know that you are talking about which line. We can correlate it easily. Then I think purpose will be more successful.
Okay. See, actually, there is a technical problem. We are in another studio today. Today there is a different studio, so there is some facilities are less in this studio. So
I appreciate your effort.
Yesterday you didn't have this problem, you know.
Yeah, yesterday it was much better.
Much better. Yes.
I appreciate your effort.
Yes, that is the thing. Yesterday we were in another studio, so in that studio there is a little bit more facilities. So that is why there is a technical problem today morning, and one session we have to skip because of those adjustments and all. Let me see. By tomorrow we will be able to clear it. Anyway, now tomorrow Shimi will take a lecture here, and afternoon you will have a practice session.
Yes.
And day after tomorrow we will again be in the other studio, and things will improve. Okay.
Right, ma'am. Although everything is going fine, you are doing your best efforts.
Yes, I know. Okay, thank you.
Everyone in our center is appreciating your efforts.
Okay, thank you.
But
Thank you.
but if this will overcome
Yes,
this
we will
problem,
improve. We will improve. We will improve. So tomorrow afternoon we will have a practice session of all what you have done. The other neural network toolbox also, Simulink also, this the programming exercises of MATLAB also. All that you will do tomorrow afternoon, and we will have a discussion tomorrow, day after tomorrow. So we will shift to the other studio day after tomorrow, so that the things will improve better. Okay.
thank you very
Thank you,
much.
ma'am.
So I have a request that all of you practice what I have told you, so that you will have questions and I can answer that.
Yes, ma'am. We
Okay?
all are with our loaded laptop with us, with
Yes,
loaded
yes.
MATLAB.
Try to practice all those. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, welcome. Any other sender? चले गया सब छुट्टी करते हैं तो. Okay.